Adam Mosseri is the head of Instagram. He has been working for the Meta Properties for as long as I know. He was a lead of product design for Facebook in 2008, and then he moved to being the head of Instagram in 2018. And ever since he was the lead for Instagram, he has been giving guys advice on how the platform works and how it operates to give people opportunity to grow their social media page, their Instagram page. So what I did, I looked online and I went through some of his speeches, some of his talks to present you this video on all the advice that he gives users on how to better their Instagram usage. Right, so this video is for anybody who wants to grow their Instagram pages, anybody who wants to grow their brand page, anybody who just wants to have fun with Instagram, get millions of followers, go viral, and have maybe possibly make money out of the Instagram pages. Yeah, it is true there is no single solution or no single hack or breakthrough for or anything that will make you rush to become very popular or very big on Instagram, but every so often Adam goes on social media and drops breadcrumbs, nuggets for people to learn and to apply on their systems. And many of us, me included, sometimes I made the mistake of not listening to him keenly or not paying attention to what he has to say about the new stuff, the changes, debunking myths, and how to grow on Instagram. So this video is for you, it's for me, it's for anybody who uses Instagram and wants to get the most value out of it. With that, we'll talk about around maybe 10 points on how to grow your Instagram profile to be a powerhouse for what it should be. The first thing that Adam says, or the most important thing that he says, is that the feed is the most important thing on Instagram. It is king according to him. There are carousels, there are stories, there are lives, there are reels. But the most important thing for anybody who wants to grow and share their content to the most public is the feed. When you post something to the feed, it appears on your friends, and more importantly, it is shared to other people around. People who don't know you, people who might not know you. It suggests your content to strangers out there. Because as you have imagined, you've been scrolling through your feed, and then you randomly see a post from somewhere, it says suggested to you. That is the power of the feed. There are many of us who get caught up with the new fancy stuff. We get caught up by the new shiny tool. We get caught up by stories which is really, really good. But this one only applies mostly to your audience, people who already follow you, people who already know you. The stories are revealed to your audience. Anybody who has a circle on them, it then go to anybody else but your friends. So as well as reels, and they don't spread as much as what you put on your feed. So rather than creating so much content in terms of stories, reels, going live, the best bet for you if you want to grow and look for new clients or a new audience is by posting on your feed, and then hoping if it's good enough that Instagram will pick your content and share it to across the internet. The second thing that Adam mentions, I'm gonna avoid talking about his second name because I do not want to mispronounce it and do it justice, is signals that shows your content needs to be shared or it's high value. The first signal that he says that matters the most is, surprise, surprise, is shares. If somebody sees your content, your video, your reel, your photo, or your story, and shares them via DM to another person, that tells Instagram that this is high value content, this is very good. This needs to be pushed to other people to share, because that means you sharing something, you going out of your way to share a post, share a reel, share a video to your pal. That means you find it to be high value, you find it to be educative, you find it to be entertaining. Like for example, you share if you're a parent and you see parent themed content, you are more likely to share the content to other parents who are within your circle and who would benefit from the content. So when Instagram sees you sharing this to another person, and that person sharing it to another person, another parent. It goes like, this is content gold. This needs to go everywhere, and it pushes your thing everywhere, everywhere. And you find that shares are more important than likes. Sometimes we get lost in the weeds. We are looking at how many people liked our post, how many people favorited our post, but the most important thing is shares on Instagram. So you find that a post that has, or a reel or a video that has, let's say 200 shares, is more viral or is more widespread than something that had 2,000 likes. So the most important thing on Instagram in terms of weight is to get your material to be shareable. So when you're coming up with content, think about stuff. Think about your end users. Is this high value? Is it good quality? Is it shareable? And even if you have good content, sometimes we forget to tell our audience. Can you imagine now at the end of the video you go like, if you like this content, please share it with your friends. If you find it to be controversial, if you find it to be of value, if you find it to be, if it has wowed you, share it with your friends, family, and then we see what they say in addition to what you with your opinion. And when Instagram sees this, and when your audience does this, boom, virality. You're on viral street. So likes are not as big as what you think. Another signal to show that content is high value, according to Adam, is watch time. If you have a video of, let's say, 60 seconds or 2 minutes, and then your audience or your fans fully, or anybody who's following you, fully watches the whole video, it tells Instagram like, this is good quality, this is good content, we should push this thing. And at the same time, if the same people watch it once, twice, or 3 times, they go like, now this is something that we need in our content, this is something that we need to share around the world so that everybody can take advantage of this thing, and people will stick more to it. And when it comes to content, it's also a double-edged sword. Think about it this way. If you come up with a clip that is 30 seconds long and is watched completely, Instagram is going to share it all over. But at the same time, if you come up with a clip that is 2 minutes and it's only watched halfway, that means a whole minute has been spent on the clip versus 30 seconds. It won't be shared as much to people, because Instagram will go like, this one is short content, this one has been shared, this one we need to share more because it has full engagement. So something like this tells, so you're advised, from what Adam says, is come up with shorter content, get to your point, hit your hooks, engage your people as quickly as possible, try to make sure they don't fall off, change your points, change your story, so that people get the most value from your Instagram before they go to the next thing. So watch time is very, very important. He also says that reels should be aimed at less than 3 minutes. Again, we have said the importance of completion rate. The longer the more videos watched completely, the better it is. But on the flip side, you might be coming up with content that is educational, where you can't bring your point across in just less than 3 minutes. You need longer time to explain, or like what I'm doing right now, because this video is going to be maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes long. So what you need to do is, in the beginning, in the intro, you tell people, you can come up with a hook, or tell people that point number 10 will shock you, or if you watch this video to the end, you'll find out, you'll know what I'm reading or what this book is all about, or comment this at the end, and then I'll respond to you. Just find ways of engaging with people. Have you thought about how carousels work? Have you realized how carousels do more in terms of impressions, do more in terms of reach, do more in terms of likes and comments? I've always wondered about it. Apparently it's true. Think about a single post or 5 different posts. You find that posts that are in the carousel nature do well. Adam says this, he explains it really well. He goes like, think about it this way. When Instagram pushes your content to somebody new or to a group of people, and it's just a single image, and then they don't like it and they just ignore it. Versus then Instagram, and then that content is there. So now in terms of carousel, instead of Instagram sharing the same post with the individual, it shares maybe the second or third image in your carousel with the same individual, and this second or third carousel or image might resonate with the person, so the person likes it and boom, get more, likes it and goes back to the first one and sees the whole thing. So it gives you another bite at the apple of engagement. So Instagram really favors carousels more than static or single images. He advises when you're coming up with carousels, if you're having 5 carousels, hook them up with a story. Let the first slide be the introduction, second, third, fourth be the body or the main story, and then the fifth one be the conclusion. You'll see this done really, really well with comics, where the first panel is shown, second panel, third panel, fourth panel, and then the fifth panel is all the panels put together in one slide. Because I've seen it done well with the dog and the cat. Sorry, the dog and the kitten. Brutus. Yeah, he does really well. And I find myself scrolling all through them, trying to follow the story. What's going on with the whole story. So I got the first one, I'm curious, second one, third, then obviously the payoff in the fifth one. So he advises to, rather than posting one image, post carousels. I should also mention, I really want to mention about Instagram stories. Instagram stories are awesome, but please note that Instagram stories only work with your friends and with your audience. The people who follow you, the only people who get to see your stuff. So he says the part of stories, or the main purpose of stories, is to build relationships. Stories are meant to nurture your connection with your audience, nurture connection with the people who are following you, and then they get to know you better. You can have polls there, you can have intimate conversations, and people just know this story or this piece of content is not being shared around the world with everybody. This content is just between me and the creator. It makes it more intimate and people get to know you better. Adam also mentions things like links in your bio. There is this myth that has been going around that if you put your link or a link on your bio, Instagram will not push your products because they're afraid of you taking people away from the platform. Well, that is further from the truth. In fact, Instagram encourages to use links on your bio. You can use Linktree, you can use Beacon, you can use whatever. You can also refer to people on your content to go to your link. Like, for example, let's say you want people to download a white paper, or you want people to get in touch with you. You can tell guys, if you want to get in touch with me, please check out the link on the bio. And you've seen this done everywhere. Many posts go like, if you want more information about us, if you want to go to our website, you want to buy this product, the link is in our bio. That works very, very well. Another thing that people are afraid of is using the sponsored ad tag on their content. Well, people assume or think that if you put your sponsored ad tag on your content, it may not be shared or it may not be spread as widely as it is. But that is far from the truth. In fact, Instagram encourages people to put sponsored caption or a sponsored hashtag so that people know what they're looking at. This brings transparency to know that you're working with a brand, you're working with a company, and then people can trust you better and trust LinkedIn. So, in fact, LinkedIn highly encourages people to use a sponsored ad content or post on it. Another myth that Adam debunked was the perfect time to post. Sometimes we get too granular, we get lost in the weeds, we get lost in we're trying to do things perfect. We go like, the algorithm is a machine, so let's do this. Let's post every day at a certain time. Or let's post every Sunday at 10 p.m. because we got higher impressions or more reach on this date. Let's post them to get the same thing. Well, which is further from the truth. One thing you should always remember, you're not posting for the algorithm. The algorithm doesn't care about you. What you care about the most is your audience. You're posting at a specific time where your audience is available, your audience is going to consume your material. At the same time, you're posting at a time where people are open to your conversation, you're open to your content. I think to think about is with your audience. They don't want fixed time, they want consistency and commitment. If you're to post your content maybe every day, that's wonderful as long as you keep on doing it. If you're gonna post your content maybe 3 times a day, 3 times a week, that is great. As long as people are used to you posting content on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it doesn't matter the time. People will be good, like, oh, by the way, it's just today is Monday, today is Tuesday, today is Wednesday. This content should be out. With my personal experience, I know the daily show comes out on certain days of the week, and I look forward to them. And just in case I miss a show that did appear on my feed, I look for them. That's so timing, being precise with the timing, doesn't work. And now, another point that Adams talks about, which is also a bit opposite to what I've just said, or contrary to what I've just said, is engagement. If you post your content and there's no engagement within the first hour, that gives Instagram an indication that the content is not good. It gives it a signal that this might not be worth sharing or spreading. So it's advised that when you post your content, try and post the time when, not a specific time, but when people are more free, are more able to engage with your stuff. There are even guys who have been known, or people who tell their groups of friends, or they send DMs, they send messages and tweets telling people, I am posting at this time on this platform, please engage. And then when Instagram sees that you're getting traction, you're getting feedback in terms of likes, shares, watch throughs, it goes like, this is good content, we need to share this with as many people as possible. Yes, I know previously I talked about there's no perfect time for posting, but when you're posting your content within the first hour, it needs to get engagement for it to grow, to be shared as widely as possible, for it to go viral, and for it to be seen by as many people as possible. Also, within the first hour, it's advisable that you stay on the platform. Why you should stay on the platform? You're going to stay on the platform so that you can respond and react to any comments, any shares, or any feedback. So this way, you keep the post going longer and growing longer, or spending more time on it. Again, a more signal. The more people interact with your content or your post, Instagram goes like, this is something we want, this is something we like. How many hashtags do you put in your content? Raise your hand if you put more than 5 or 10. Well, guess what? Hashtags don't work anymore. Hashtags used to be a thing of the past, maybe 3 years, 4 years ago. It used to be a way of getting your content seen by as many people as possible, but not anymore. Hashtags these days are used as a classifier to help people to help the algorithm know what you're talking about. What matters most these days is not your hashtag, but your caption. Right now, it's not a surprise, AI runs most of these social media accounts. So what the AI in Instagram will do, it will go through the content for your caption and try to read what you're trying to do, or your description, what you're talking about. And with that, it will share the content with your followers and anybody who might be interested with the same things. So hashtags don't work anymore. Maybe just do 1 or 2 just for classification, for the algorithm to know what time it is, or to know what you're talking about, but don't put much time or effort on hashtags. When I was listening to Adam talk, he talked about adding audio, and that piqued my ears. Like, what? Does audio matter? Apparently it does. Adam says audio takes content to a whole new level. It makes the content look and feel more professional. It makes the content look more taken care of. It makes it feel more loved. So he says basically add audio to your static photos, add audio to your reels. Like, think about inspiring movie music if you're talking about, let's say, if you're doing a gym training, inspirational audio or inspirational music will do wonders for you. If you're talking about a sad topic, somber music will elevate the music to another level. So he encourages people to put music on on their content. So even if you're choosing to post just a single image, that image is transformed to a video if it has 10 or 20 seconds clip of an audio. Think about how it works on TikTok, and this is how amazing it is when you apply to Instagram. So audio does wonders for you. Adam says that when your post goes viral, if one of your posts goes viral, don't just chill, don't just wait, don't just sit and be happy and just blaze in the glory of being viral. No, he says create better quality content. As soon as you can, just post some more. Your second or third post might not go as big as the first post that went viral. No, it might not. But because of the feedback from the first post, the algorithm go like, maybe this guy has content that we should be pushing more. So let's say you have a content that got like maybe 1,100,000 views randomly. No, just boom, it blew up. The next thing you should do is build on the momentum and create several different pieces of content that is good quality, and the Instagram algorithm will push the 5, 6, 7. You might not get 100,000, but you'll get maybe 10,000, maybe 20,000, maybe 40,000. But this is something you not have gotten if you just ignored or just rode the wave. So it's very important to build on momentum, on the momentum of being viral and get more reach. So another thing that is very important for Instagram is originality. There is AI. There's too much AI content right now. When you look at what Google can do, what Solana can do, what ChatGPT can do, as in guys, they can make a ton of crazy content that is AI based, which looks amazing, which looks beautiful. They're almost rivaling what is happening in real life. They're getting that good, and the more we use it, the better it becomes. It'll even reach a point where it's indistinguishable. But the problem is with AI, however good it is, however amazing it is, it's not you, it's not me, it's not human. And what's social media about? It's about human beings. The algorithm doesn't care about other AI bots or AI programs. It cares about human nature. So if you're able to come up with original content for your audience, that is prized property. That is gold for Instagram. That is gold. That is content for all platforms, even TikTok and everything. So you're advised to leave the AI content generator alone on the side and just come up with content. It does help. AI helps a lot with ideas. It helps a lot with a lot of stuff. But when it comes to the actual generation, just get in front of the camera. Just create your own things and make it more a social thing. The part about being original is your point of view. I had somebody say something. If you give AI a prompt, you give 5 different AIs a specific prompt, you basically get the same answer. But if you give 5 human beings the same prompt for the same question, you get 5 different answers. So originality helps. Lastly, he said, avoid watermarks. If you see an amazing post on TikTok, or if you post something on TikTok that you want to post again on Instagram, that is highly discouraged. The algorithm will see the banner or the logo for TikTok or the logo for CapCut or the logo for anything and goes like, no, this is not for our area, this is not for our platform. We don't push or brand TikTok on Instagram. So you're advised, if you're picking up content from a different platform, remove the logo, remove the branding, and then repurpose it to Instagram. And with that, I hope you've learned from my guy Adam. I wish I could have an open interview, with him and have a conversation with him. I ask him how best to grow on Instagram, because he is the head, he knows everything. But until then, I will say goodbye.